Hi, it's Jan Beta and I'm back with the Commodore C2N Datasette. And yeah, apparently this is much quicker, this follow-up video to the video I will link in here where I tried to repair this. The issue was that it was working quite well. I had to adjust the azimuth and had to do some cleaning of the head and stuff like that. And it worked quite well, but it didn't read these original tapes I got with it. And I put in a drive belt that was much too short, and yeah. So I got new belts from an eBay seller. I will link that in below probably. I don't know yet if these are any good, but yeah, it appeared to be a valid shop, and yeah, let's try this out, I'd say, and hope that they fix the issue that this still has. And yeah, first of all, I have to thank you all. I got so many good tips in the comments from last video that, yeah, I don't even know where to start. So thank you all. I'm gonna try a lot of stuff in this video, and yeah, basically you guys walked me through how to repair these things. I don't have any experience with these, so thanks a lot. I hope we, as the shared effort of you guys and me doing it, will fix this. So let's see what we can do. At first I'm going to try to insert the new belt here, which is of course necessary because the one I inserted last time is just a replacement. That isn't a fitting drive belt for this one at all. So that has to go. Ta-da! So the last time I did this, I removed this whole thing here and had to remove the little spring you can see here. Today I'm going to try to just remove the two screws here and then lift this up slightly and to get the belt through there. So I'm removing this screw. Okay, so we should be able to lift this. Yes, we can. So we can slide this through there. There we go. This is our belt that's much too short. So I hope you're able to see this. This is the motor here. And what you want to do is to not twist it in any way so that it's lying flat against all the rings here. So probably this should go there. Okay, now this should go over here. So yeah, that's a good tension. I can feel that. That feels quite correct to me. So let's see if it has any. Yeah, this looks quite promising. Look at how much, you can even hear the sound there, how much better the tension is. One person in the comments also pointed out that it's not good to stretch the belt before you insert it like that. So this is the belt that was in there before, which was of course a replacement that wasn't fitting at all. So I stretched it around there just to have something to drive the tape there. So this one should be much better. I also want to take a look at the electronics and change the capacitors on there. But let's measure the little belt here that I used. That seems perfect. So you can just buy a belt with these measurements there. I think it's a 1 millimeter square belt. Yeah, it's unstretched. It's very, very close to 11 centimeters. I would say it's an 11 centimeters one side, so it's 22 centimeters on both sides. They're unstretched. That's the size of these things. And 1 millimeter square belt should do. This is, by the way, this is an interesting screw. Can you focus on that? Yeah, it's not a flathead, and it's not a Phillips screw, but a flathead with the hole in the middle. But you can use a flathead screwdriver. This is the one that goes here on this side here. So, with this special ring thing on there. I initially thought it was a Phillips screw, so I screwed it up. So I think I'll take a look at the electronics, which are under here, and put some new capacitors in this, because they are, as somebody pointed out in the comments as well, they are 40 years old or something like that. So they are probably not the best caps in the world anymore. Electrolytic caps, in case you don't know, they tend to dry out with age. No matter what you do, they dry out very quickly in terms of electronics components. After a couple of decades, you have to change them because they completely the electrolyte dries up and they change their values and they don't work anymore, basically. So here are little screws that I'm going to take off. There's this little, I think it's the ground connection. So let's see, we should be able to lift this up here somehow. That's of course this here. The connection goes through there. So we probably have to desolder. This is a little switch that determines the play state, I think. Okay, so I'm going to mark which cable goes where. So I make a little black spot here somewhere, so I know where the black cable goes. I melted a bit of the plastic there, but it's probably okay. I hope so, at least. So let's see, now we should be able to take the cables out here. Yes, we are. And now we can probably take this off. Okay, there we are. Wow, this is some pretty nasty soldering there. Yeah, great times. The 80s, ladies and gentlemen. So let's see if we can get rid of the caps here at least. So as you can see, I'm using the quick and dirty approach here. This is a 47 microfarad. Let's get a replacement. This is pretty nice, the little Commodore logo with solder on it, on the PCB here. So I have reassembled the dataset for a bit, and I'm now turning on the Commodore 64 to make a quick test if it still works, I guess. So yeah, it still spins up, and about that lubrication thing, I did it all wrong. Some commenter pointed out that I just lubricated the shafts from the wrong side and stuff like that. And somebody else said that it's most of the times it's not even necessary to lubricate the tape mechanism. And if I do so, I'm going to do it with my silicone grease and not with the spray lubricant I used, which was also silicone based, so it shouldn't hurt the plastics or the rubber in there, at least. But yeah, some of you pointed out that it's pretty pointless how I did it, which is of course true. I just thought it was at least something, which it clearly wasn't. So sorry about that. Don't do it like I did. Yeah. So I started up the cassette azimuth tool, which is Rekorderjustage in the original version, which came from a German disc mag. I will link the original version in the video description, so you can view all this information in German, which is, yeah, it's pretty pointless. It's the same program, basically, but with German text, which is the original text. So, yeah, let's adjust the dataset, I think. I did that before in the previous videos, so I'm gonna just briefly show how it works. So basically what you do is to insert a cassette here and play it. So you play it and adjust the azimuth so that a solid line appears on the screen there. So, and as you can see, there are lines, and the lines, I think, already look a lot better than the last time. So let's adjust this a little bit. Yeah, so we are completely off. So that seems to be quite nicely adjusted now. But I immediately see another problem there that may be the whole problem. So here's what I see. While this is turning, you can see that this reel here, let's say reel, I don't know the correct technical term for that is, it stops at times. So, and what that is this is the part that is transported by this mechanism here, the pinch roller and the capstan, that basically it's a rubber wheel and a little metal pin that roll the tape, transport the tape and pull the tape through. And that is basically the main mechanism that keeps the movements straight for the tone head to be able to read or write the data in an even manner. So yeah, and these rubber things wear out quite a bit. And apparently I had Gadget UK, Chris is his name, I think. I will link him in his channel. He does a lot of retro computing stuff. If you don't know his channel, definitely have to check it out. He pointed out that here has a whole bunch of these datasets where all that's wrong with them is this little wheel is worn out. So it's too slippery to transport the tape. Yeah, so that may be the problem on this one as well. What you can do, I read in some forums, is to just roughen up the surface a bit and stuff like that and try that. Maybe I'll give that a shot. So at first I'm gonna give it a little clean with some isopropanol and a cotton swab or Q-tip, whatever you want to call it, which is not the best for the rubber, but it at least removes any fat that may be on there, so which is a good thing. And it also removes the iron particles that apparently rub off the tapes. So the capstan is this little metal pin here, which is the thing that actually turns, so you have to keep it smooth there. There's some little bit of sandpaper, so apply that to here. And just give it a little rub there. And after that, I think I'll clean it again with cotton swab and some alcohol to make sure the rubber is off there. By the way, you can also adjust this by putting the screwdriver while it's playing, because the position of the screw changes. While it's playing, you can put the screwdriver in this hole here and adjust it. So I think it's running pretty steadily, and the capacitor change did some good, I would say, for the output signal. This looks pretty nice to me. And this is a tape that was pretty fuzzy when I last tried it, so chances are quite good that it works. It might just work. So it's a couple of days later, and I have fully recapped this now. And yeah, I still don't have any luck getting the two original tapes I got with the datasette to run, or at least to get them to run properly, because they won't fully load still. So I kind of suspect that the tapes may be bad. So what I'm gonna try is to use my hi-fi tape deck here to make my own original tapes from tape files, TAP, that would be used in emulators and stuff. There's a little program that's called AudioTap that can basically convert the files back to sound, and I will output that on my computer here, on my PC, and record it onto the tape deck, and then try to run it with the datasette on the Commodore 64, which is over there. So let's go. And it's a bit funny because I saw these TDK tapes. I have one of these TDK tapes here. Maddie used them. Miss Matt Lemon, I will link her channel in here, which is also, it's quite similar to mine really. It's concerned with retro computing and vintage audio stuff most of the times. Maddie does what she wants, and she's really nice. Very much enjoy watching her stuff. She also had an Onkyo tape deck lately, which was very old. And this is 90s, mid-90s I would say. Hers was from the early 80s or late 70s, I think. Okay, so I have everything set up here. And I'm recording Ghosts and Goblins. And yeah, I'm gonna let you hear briefly through the headphones here, but then I'm gonna disconnect them. So zero this out, the counter. So this recording starts now. So I'm gonna let it roll for a few windings, so it's not completely at the beginning of the tape, but yeah, something like that. So there we go, that's how it sounds. That's the data. You probably know these sounds from your modem connections if you were active when modems were still making sounds. So this is gonna take about 5 minutes, so I'm gonna make a little cut here, I think. Okay, so let's try my original disc. I am loading it, and I press play on tape. So it should take a while now. Oh, there are ghosts and goblins! That's a good sign. Let's see if it works. Oh, look at that! So that's not too bad, I guess. Nice! Let's see if it can load this fully. Yes! And it successfully loaded Ghosts and Goblins from my self-made original tape. Oh, nice. So I guess, after all I've seen, that this one is just a broken tape. The squirm tape. So I think it was, yeah, it was the belt in the end, and it was the caps. And of course the azimuth adjustment didn't hurt, I think. Yeah, but this is Ghosts and Goblins from the... That's so nice. It's yeah, it's virtually it's a copy of the original tape. Then went all the way. Yeah, I suck at this game. It's a pretty hard game, so I don't really know how to play it. I always used trainers and stuff back in the day. So yeah, I wanted to do so much more with the dataset. Maybe I'll adjust it with the scope, which is something I wanted to try. Yeah, but for now I'm quite happy with it. It seems to work. Let's try if the other game I put on the tape works too. I put River Raid on there. Yeah, and as you can see, it just worked. That's our load screen. Okay, so that worked a treat too. It's River Raid. How cool is that? So I can make my own original tapes, and the dataset seems to be working. Nice. So I got this working again, as you saw, and I did some more testing on it, and it seems to work perfectly. And the only thing that was that remains broken is this squirm tape. I wasn't able to load it yet, but that's probably because the tape is bad, I would say, because everything else I tried loads perfectly without any problems now, and it's repeatable, and I declare this fixed. So this could be the end of the video, but I at least wanted to take a quick look on the circuit diagram here and try adjusting this with my oscilloscope, because I had some conversation in the comments to the last video where people suggested that the most accurate way to really adjust this is to use an oscilloscope on the output and see when the signal reaches the highest peak, and that's the perfect adjustment then. So let's see. Let's take a look at this circuit diagram. So I'm obviously not an expert at all, But basically how this works, we have our, this is our read-write head here. And basically we have our data lines and shield. And this is amplified. This is from the service manual, by the way, and you can see the little oscilloscope curves here that show how the signal changes along the way. So this is the input side from tape, and this is the output that goes to the computer. So we have some amplification going on here, and then we have some inversion going on here. So the curve is amplified and it is inverted here. And then what this thing here, I think it is the so-called Schmidt trigger, which is basically, it converts what comes from tape, which is ideally a digital waveform for the computer to interpret easier. In reality, it looks more like something like a flattened out sine wave, because tape is not a very good medium to transport digital data. And this basically converts it. This is a switch that switches at a certain threshold and switches to 1 and to 0. So it makes it a square wave, which is what we see here. And then the signal is inverted again, one of these ICs here, and fed to the computer. So that's basically how this works. Correct me if I'm wrong here, it's very basic. I haven't looked up any of the ICs and stuff like that, but basically the signal gets in here and gets amplified and gets converted to a digital signal and then fed into the computer. And yeah, what I did was to change the little caps. This one, and this is basically a decoupling cap, and this is another decoupling cap to make sure that the data lines don't interfere with each other, and makes the signal cleaner. That was what we saw when we ran the adjustment program. It was much clearer signal there. So that was these, and the last one I changed was this one here, the 0.47 microfarad one. And I wasn't sure what this did. It was some kind of RF filter or something, because it is, this here, the M, is the motor, and the little cap is between the motor voltage supply lines here. So it is some kind of RF filter, I suppose. Again, correct me if I'm wrong. And especially as fellow electronics guy Tilo pointed out, it says here it's for FCC stuff. So it's basically probably to filter the RF that goes back to the computer and interfere with radio signals and stuff like that. It basically, you could leave it out and it would function the same, except for emitting some more radio frequencies, I think. So yeah, I don't know. But at least wanted to show some circuit diagram, even if I don't know crap about it. But maybe it helps someone. I will link that in below as well. The whole service manual stuff is available. So I think we could basically put the scope on any of these points here, and I will try to get it on one of the points closest to the outputs, or directly to the outputs, so we can see the waveform, how it leaves the dataset. So what I basically do now is to put the probe directly on the tone head there, and as you can see, you can see the signal here. That's our game. This is what a game looks like on a scope. So yeah, let's try and adjust it so that it reaches the highest peak. It shouldn't be that hard, I think. So that's lower, definitely. So something like that. Pretty easy, really. That's a pretty easy method of adjusting this. Maybe we should try the squirm tape again and see. Maybe we can get that to work even. So then I think that's the whole problem with this cassette, is that signal is far too weak. And the adjustment wasn't that far off. That's all we get, and the other one was like this. It had a much higher peak, so I guess this cassette is just gone. Yeah, what I realized now, when I probed the output side of this, it didn't make any sense because, of course, the output will be a digital output, so that the levels are the same, probably 5 volts, TTL logic levels, so it doesn't make sense to adjust anything azimuth wise with these levels, because they are all the same. So you have to go in the circuitry or probe it directly on the head, like I did, to get a proper measurement for adjusting it. So I hope I did it right now, but yeah, something tells me that that's a good way to do it. So let's try if this still loads anything. Okay, I'm trying to load Street Surfer, that I liked pretty much back in the day. Let's see. Yeah, and there we are. It took a while, but that's what tapes do. So yeah, let's see if it works. This is a fun game. It's really fast, and yeah, it's quite hard to master, I think. You basically have to collect empty bottles, I think, and not get hit by cars. And you can jump and don't go over the edge of the road there. So anyway, thanks for watching. I hope that you found this informative in one way or the other, and I'm really happy I fixed the datasette in the end. It was fun for me. Hope it was for you. If you want to support me, you could give this a little thumbs up, or even subscribe to my channel. There's going to be a lot more like this. And if you have things to donate or money to donate, you find links for that as well. You can just contact me on Twitter or via email, or comment on this, which is pretty much appreciated. If I did something wrong or you have other ideas, yeah, tell me about it. I'm happy to communicate. So, thank you for now. Wow, this is pretty... I can't even play this and still talk. So, thanks for watching. See you next time. I'm Beta. Bye. Yeah, it's 2 empty bottles. Oh, and that's it again. Wow, this is cool.